Hey, everybody. Welcome to your favorite Sox podcast. The White Sox did what, or what did the White Sox just do? We have so many names for this freaking team that can't seem to win many games, and it is very frustrating. And before we talk about the elephant in the room and have this, I want to call it the black episode. I didn't wear black today. I apologize because this isn't how I usually dress for a funeral. But before we
No
lay the
funeral
White
today.
Sox to rest in their funeral, I would like to talk about the positives. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even start properly. I'm your favorite host, Harry, White Sox polygamist, with your favorite co-host, JJ3. Say hi, JJ3.
What's going on?
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry, I was just so eager to talk about the Sox today. Said no
Yeah,
one
we
ever.
back. We back live for
We
a hot
back.
minute.
We were trying to hide our faces, but we ran out of paper bags to cover our heads because of all this losing going on. But let's start with the positive note to add some positivity to this episode before it gets negative. The White Sox just swept the Angels. Holy cow. They not just swept, they even capped it off with a shutout. I was shocked. My mouth dropped. I don't even think Crochet played this series. That's what's even more shocking. We had
He
our
didn't.
worst pitcher, Martin, play yesterday, with the second worst pitcher, Soroka, close for him, and we still won. Maybe the Angels were being nice and was like, you know what, got dogs, we can't let y'all set the record on us. Here you go, here's some wins. Or maybe we just took the wins. Benintendi is looking like he's worth the money. He was getting 2 hits a game. I think Vaughn got like 2 homers. I don't know what's going on in this series, but all of a sudden we look like the Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, and Astros, whatever top teams, just for one series before we set the record. If I knew that we're going to play like this at a loss 120 next season, let's just start with 120 losses and see how we play the rest of the games, because this is crazy how good they've been now that they're about to set the record. Like, nope, y'all ain't gonna get us. You're gonna have to get at least 7 runs to beat the White Sox right now, trying to give them the all-time loss record. Just putting it out there. What do you think, JJ3?
They came out and played, what's the proverbial saying, with their hair on fire. I guess they did everything they could to avoid setting this record at home.
Facts.
I was watching Ozzie Guillen, and he pretty much declared that the White Sox would not set this record for all-time losses at home at guaranteed rate. He said they'd sweep the series, and that's exactly what they did. So credit to Ozzie for calling it. But yeah, man, they came out, and today especially, I think the Angels took the day off. So thank you to the Angels for that one. But
You think the Angels tanked on purpose? It's like, you know, let me help them out. Let's lose on purpose because we don't want to look like asshats. You think that's what happened?
I mean, yes and no. Quite frankly, it's a day game, a getaway game for the Angels. I got the impression that they kind of just mailed it in a little earlier than usual when the Sox got off to a nice start. Credit to Chris Flexen. He went out and pitched a pretty decent game. I think he went 6 and some change, 6 and a third, whatever it was. Struck out a couple, like you mentioned. Andrew Vaughn had a solid offensive output for one of the only times this entire season. So yeah, I think the Angels kind of relaxed a little bit, didn't care after they got walked off last night. So I think that's the game that they really wanted to win. And then this game, they kind of just went
by
with
Andrew Otani. I mean Andrew Benintendi, right?
Yeah, him, the highest paid player in White Sox history. Him, that guy.
That's crazy in history because he only get paid that much compared to the other payrolls in history. That is crazy.
That is crazy. Shout out to Jerry Reinsdorf, cheap ass, for that one.
People are bringing sell the team signs to the stadium, and I'm here for it.
And chanting "sell the team" during the game. So yes, here for that too.
Sell the team. Sell the team. Maybe that should be the new name for the podcast. Jerry, sell the team podcast.
I mean, we can't take the tagline at the end of the show.
Then we can change it back after he sells the team. The White Sox just did a what? What did the White Sox just do? They sold the team. Jerry sold it. Unless another guy named Jerry buys it, then we can kind of just keep it up if we're going to go on a Jerry buying the team streak.
And I can rant all day and all night about Jerry Reinsdorf and his epic failure and how he continues to just tank the White Sox, the Bulls. I mean, he's awful at this point.
Whoa. Bulls tanking. Where'd that come from?
Listen, like I said, I could talk all day and all night, but let's try to stay focused. I'm just try to keep the train on the tracks right now.
All right, train, stay on tracks. All right, we talked about some good. Now let's get to not so favorite part, the bad. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the record? You want to start with the 3 games left? You want to start with the effort level only shown like this at the end? There's many ways we can go here.
I mean, there is many ways that we can go, but ultimately, we're 3 games away from an awful record that'll stand the test of time for several decades, probably.
Hell, we're there now, even if we don't break the record.
Unless the White Sox spin the block and beat their own record again next season, because they're not going to be that much better next year either. So you got 3 games left. You're sitting at 120. You're going to Detroit to play the Detroit Tigers for the last 3 games of the year. I mean, I'm not expecting the White Sox to go out there and sweep the Tigers, especially since I believe the Tigers still have something to play for as far as a wild card berth. So one of these losses is going to come in the next couple of days. So that's the bad that we can talk about right now. There's at least 1, if not 2 more L's on the schedule in Detroit.
What if we do sweep them? Will it change anything?
Will it change? No.
Okay.
No, it changes nothing. I mean, and my biggest thing, and I've said this all year long, Jerry doesn't care.
At all.
So he doesn't care whether the Sox set this record or don't set this record. He doesn't care. He can give all the lip service about how the year is disappointing. The GM can talk about how he didn't expect us to lose 120 games, even though he said in the same sentence that 110 was feasible. Like, it doesn't matter. Jerry doesn't care one way or the other. As long as his pockets are getting lined with money, as long as his investors are seeing a return on their investment, that's the only thing that matters to Jerry. So the wins and losses product on the field is irrelevant to him.
Because it is absolute lip service. That is no question.
Complete and utter lip service. So whether they sweep the Tigers or whether they get swept by the Tigers, the outcome is still going to be the same. You still had arguably the worst season in the history of the sport. If you do officially set the record, then it is 100% the worst season in the history of the sport. But even if you avoid setting it, you're tied for the worst season in the history of the sport. So, you know what I'm saying? You're not making out in a positive light in this situation. So, no, it changes nothing.
I don't disagree. It took me a while to cope, but after the hours and hours of crying and getting over this, I finally manned up, went to a strip club, got danced on a little bit, got my head together, you know what I'm talking about? And it was like, okay, this isn't the end of the world. We can't get any worse unless Getz does the usual Sox thing where we're like, you know what? We're not at the bottom yet. Let me trade the starting pitcher so we can really be like we're at the floor. I feel like Getz is gonna try to show us where the basement is. Like, wait, there's a basement too. Kind of like how I treat women when they got nothing left, and I take everything from them, and they're like, oh no, that's it. I got nothing left for you. And then I find more, and I show them that there's a basement that's not their floor. It's like that. The pain that I inflict, I'm feeling on me. So I don't know what to do. But like I've said forever, if I'm the GM, it's about spending. Last time I remember a real attempt to spend and get a top player One was Bryce Harper. Wasn't going to happen unless Chris Bryant stayed, but we had a chance. That was a weird situation because they were both kind of trying to collude like the Heat, but it was weird. Like, are you two going to the same team? What is happening here? They just want to be in the same city. Then I remember we had Machado. Machado, he was going to be he was somebody we put in a bid on, and we lost. I think I remember you talking about it. It was like 330, but we wouldn't do 330. We stayed at 100 or 300. If we did like 330, he would have came, but we just didn't decide to match the 330.
The White Sox offer for Manny Machado, that was in the same free agent season as Bryce Harper. The White Sox offer to Manny Machado was about $50 million short. You know, I mean,
and it was public what was short. So it was like, okay, we matched, we got him, and we chose not to match.
If I was Manny Machado and the Padres are offering me $50 million more than the White Sox, it's an easy decision. No doubt about it. But
there's no way a smaller market like San Diego should be able to offer more than us to any player in the league.
No way whatsoever. But it goes right back to the head of the snake, which is Jerry. Jerry doesn't believe in spending money like that.
Market.
If Jerry had his way, well, Jerry's the owner. He has his way. He operates this team like it's 1983.
Absolutely.
Not 2024. And that's the problem. That's the biggest issue. In my mind,
is it 1983 or is it us moving like we're a small market? Or not us. I don't want to. Is it them?
He operates this team like it's 1983. Doesn't believe in analytics, which is completely taken over the sport. He doesn't believe in spending for top tier, high quality free agents. Again, he sat in a press conference last year and laughed at the mere thought of signing Shohei Ohtani. Shohei is the best player on the planet.
On the planet.
And Reinsdorf laughed at the sheer notion of spending money for the best player on the planet.
Looking back, that's I was ready to go full billion. That 700 million looks like a steal now, especially since he might even pitch in the playoffs. Which like, is he made of some kind of alloy metal we don't know about? Was he sent from the future by Skynet to kill John? What's his face? The main character. Yeah, to kill John Connor, because this dude is a machine. Like, what is Jerry doing?
It all goes back to him, right? To me, the biggest, the positive that I take from this season is all the negative reports that are coming out on Jerry Reinsdorf. To me, that's the positive takeaway from this, right? Is you have articles from Ken Rosenthal in The Athletic basically ripping the White Sox to pieces, right? Ripping Reinsdorf apart, saying that he thinks he knows what he's doing, but he has no clue.
None.
Right? No clue whatsoever. And again, he doesn't want to embrace analytics. He doesn't want to embrace where the sport is going financially and the dollars that need to be spent in order for you to field a competitive team, a truly competitive team.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just lip service saying, oh, we want to compete every year, like Kenny Williams used to say. We want to compete every year. Well, you have to actually put pen to paper, spend money at the top of the free agent market in order to compete every year. And if you're not willing to do that, then it will never happen for you. That's just part of the problem. Like it all circles back to him. It all comes back to Reinsdorf not wanting to progress towards the future. He's stuck in the past. He's stuck in his old ways. Everything from how the White Sox travel on charter planes. Their plane is too old for them to fly on. Their amenities are out of date. You know, not just how they operate their team, not just how they utilize analytics in the sport. Their literal analytics of how they travel are out of date. Everything about this organization, which should be top tier when you have a big city market like Chicago, is the exact opposite. And it's all because of Reinsdorf.
Facts. Not just Reinsdorf, but I didn't like the Gets hire in the first place. He seemed like a company man, a super company man. I don't like his moves now. I don't like him moving like we're Kansas City Royals or whatever. team that just won't spend the money and hopes draft picks carry everything. And those in baseball, to me, take a 5 to 10 year plan when we're already coming off 3 years of nothing. Or is it 2? I forget the last time we made the playoffs. 2 years of nothing.
I mean, the
Yeah,
Sox just won the division
2 years ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah. So you think we would have built off that instead of kind of moving away from that? Like we would have been, all right, this is what we need to win. This is who's getting older. This is who we need to pay. This is who's inefficient, who's efficient, who we need to keep. You should upgrade from the parts that are bad, and somehow everything just went left. It started with Tim Anderson getting in a fight and aggressing and cheating, and somehow I'm dead
Hey
serious.
man, black men don't cheat. Chill out.
Yeah. Well, is he black? If he's black, I take that back. But whatever
Tim
happened,
Anderson is 100% black. Stop.
is
Black
it?
man from Alabama. Don't do that.
You know, it was an open relationship. I will call it that. He wasn't cheating if it was open. It was an open relationship. I don't know. She was bad too. I think she had a baby.
Look, shout out to TA and his wife.
Yeah.
We gonna move on.
And then he got traded to Miami, which is a terrible place from a man coming off of side chick issues. My goodness, he probably ain't stopped cheating since.
Hey, black men don't cheat.
They need a team in Utah. That's what they need. That way, black men
don't cheat, and he dark skinned. He clean.
But that's what I'm saying. A team in Utah ain't nothing to do. No nightclubs. Can't drink up past 9. You just at home with your family because you're forced to. You know what? Some of these players need to be forced to be with their families. I bet they play way better. But then you could argue, what if messing with the side hoes was what gave him his superpowers? You see what happened to Tiger. Ever since Tiger got caught, he ain't been the same Tiger since. If I had a time machine, I would go back in time and stop what was his white wife's name, Aaron, and stop Aaron from discovering his cheating. He'd still be Tiger. Them side hoes mess up everything. They messed up a whole franchise. See how I'm linking? See how I'm circling back? Linking.
Yeah, please bring it back.
Linking everything to TA's situation. Ever since then, everything just dramatically fell. Grandal fell. Rayu, he went to the Astros. He's doing nothing. Like, I didn't expect him to have such a heavy drop off. I don't know what's going on with current Sox players, with ex-Sox players. It is just bad right now.
Well, no, I mean, TA's personal life and issues aside, Abreu was declining while he was still here, right? He was struggling keeping up with the fastball. So you could blow past him with the fastball. I mean, it took him longer to get started in colder months. So he would get hotter as the season progressed, but he would still have trouble keeping up with the fastball. So that was his problem. Grandal, just the inconsistent hitter when he was here. I mean, I could go on and on down the line. But in terms of White Sox players that have gone on to other organizations, they're performing better. Like, they're performing and contributing well to teams. Like, Michael Kopech looks night and day with the Dodgers.
Then he does.
When he was here,
he looks way like look at him getting all these saves.
Now he looks like an elite closer, right? He wasn't closing like that with us. It was up and down. It was ineffective at times. He'd walk a bunch of guys. He'd blow the save completely. But with the Dodgers, you bring him in now, and it seems like he's lights out every single time. That's the difference that you see between what a first-class organization does, an organization that relies on analytics, that hires well, that develops well, that does all the things at a high level, spins well. That's what I would want the White Sox to become. It's going to take a long, long time to do that. Again, when you look at, and I'm harping on this, I'm harping on the analytics because it's part of what's driving the game today. The White Sox have no plan.
CD. Now, is that a manager issue or is that a GM issue?
It all goes back to Reinsdorf, all of it, because he's openly admitted he's not a believer in utilizing analytics. He doesn't believe in it.
So
And
you're
so
saying
when you try to,
he's hiring people that are anti-analytics, is what you're saying?
it's not that he's hiring people that are anti-analytics, because Rick Hahn believed in analytics. But and I said this previously in previous discussions, the White Sox and Jerry Reinsdorf's teams in general, it's volatile because he fosters an environment where not everyone is on the same page at all times. So Rick Hahn is very keyed in, or excuse me, Rick Hahn was very keyed in on analytics when he was here, but Kenny Williams was not very keyed in on analytics. Kenny Williams was more so aligned with Jerry in the thought process that, yeah, analytics are okay, but ultimately it's just about guys trying their hardest. I mean, but baseball isn't a sport that you always excel in because you try hard. It's a difficult sport by nature. I mean, hitting a 98-mile-an-hour fastball isn't easy.
Facts.
Hitting a sinker isn't easy. Like, those are difficult things to do. So just because you try hard doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a great level of success. And so CD is cooking right now.
Oh, yeah,
that doesn't bode well for my fantasy matchup. But anyway, it creates an issue where you have your general manager who is believing in analytics, but the VP who's above him and the owner don't necessarily have the same belief in analytics. So you're going to bump heads at some point. That's part of the problem. And that filters its way on down to the dugout, to who your manager is, your pitching coach, the materials that you're putting in front of the players that they're utilizing in game situations. So when you're a pitcher and you're given a scouting report and you're giving your analytics to look through and follow, and the game plan just says, oh, hey, throw your sinker down into the zone. Well, that's basic as hell. That doesn't say anything for that pitcher. That doesn't necessarily help that pitcher navigate the lineup that's being constructed against him, right? If I'm Michael Kopech, to circle back to him as our example, if I'm Michael Kopech and yeah, I'm a fastball pitcher, I can throw 105 on command. It doesn't help me if the only instruction that I have is keep the ball down. When the opposing manager brings in a bunch of guys who specialize in hitting the ball when it's down, that doesn't help me if I'm Michael Kopech, right? But Michael Kopech goes to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers give him a plan based on greater analytics, and they say, oh, in this quadrant of the zone, throw your sinker. In this quadrant of the zone, throw your slider. In this quadrant of the zone, we don't want you to keep the ball down. We want you to specialize in quadrants. Throw your cutter here, throw your sinker there, throw your curve here, throw your change there. There's no wonder Michael Kopech looks like a different guy with the Dodgers, because they're giving him an actual game plan based on analytics that can help him navigate a tougher lineup against opposing hitters. That's what contributes to making a difference. The White Sox don't do that. They give their guys basics. Like I said, keep the ball down, keep the ball up. That's it. Like, yeah, you're not going to see as great of a level of success when that's your whole strategy. Hitters, it's the same thing. Like, you're giving them basic outlines, but you're not giving them full details of how to succeed and how to progress every single time they take the diamond. That's a problem, man. That's a problem that exists here with the White Sox. It doesn't exist with other organizations that are really out there succeeding and winning games and going to the playoffs every damn year.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. And yeah, you mentioned Kopech. We didn't even mention Cease, but to be fair, Cease was already doing good here. He was our number one, so it's not a shock he'd do well
Cease
somewhere
was
else.
For sure. There's no doubt.
I will say, pitching wise, that's something the Sox are good at, recognizing pitchers. Outside of that, it is a whole lot of what the hell is this? Offensively, I don't think we really ever had an identity. When's the last time the Sox had great defense? 05?
Probably.
Because even when we made two playoffs 2 years ago, It wasn't really defense. We were just more an offensive small ball team without defense. It just scored a decent amount of runs. Yeah, it's going to be a long season. I don't whatever the plan is, I don't see it, especially since we're going to possibly move Garrett Crochet. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand going for a TV network if you're not investing money in the team, because look what you want the people to watch. Usually, Cubs did the same weird thing too. I think the original plan was to, hey, we just won a championship. Look at all this money we have. Let's keep these guys, invest in them, and get a TV channel going because everyone's going to want to watch the team that won. But then by the time the marquee, whatever, got set up, that lasted, a year? Even that? And they brought in Jed, what's his face? Hoyer, Jed Bush. And he kind of just, revamped everything? Whatever his name is? Jed something.
Yeah, his name is Jed. I never understood the network. But I never understood the need to try to get a new stadium either. So, but once more, that to me is Jerry trying to do what he can do to line his pockets and make more money for himself and for his investors. That's what it's about.
That's all it is. Because you got to win to get the credibility to do all that.
Yeah, because
sure,
if you build a new stadium and you own the new stadium, that increases the value of the White Sox. And the way Jerry's probably hoping to set it up is it'll increase his net worth as well. So to him, it's a business decision purely based on increasing his value, his dollar value.
That's
increasing his net worth. How much money can he get in his bank accounts? He's already a billionaire. He just wants more and more and more. But all billionaires want that.
But, it's an interesting situation.
But looking forward to next year, I mean, is it even possible to avoid another 100-loss season? Is that something that's possible in your mind? Because in my mind, it's the White Sox are going to lose another 100 games next year. I don't necessarily see
100-loss season. I say it's possible because we don't know who the manager is.
That's true. We don't know who the manager is. We don't even know what the roster is going to look like. Like you've already mentioned, the possibility they could trade Garrett Crochet at the winter meetings this year.
Yeah, if everything stays the same,
they could trade Luis Robert this year.
We'll lose another 100 games. But if we're actively trying to randomly get better and we find ourselves in a hunt for who the free agents coming up, you know what? Knowing Reinsdorf, it's going to be somebody out of prime. Watch us go after. How old is Stanton? We always get players.
But the problem is that it's already been announced that the White Sox are planning to shed payroll. So if you're planning to shed payroll, you're definitely not planning on adding free agents to contribute towards making the roster better next season.
I don't understand shedding payroll when you're not even paying that many people. You're paying like 3 guys. Shedding payroll for what?
So, Moncada's not going to be here next year. They're done with him. He's gone. We haven't seen him literally in months. Like he's been.
He's been gone the whole season. He's probably healed by now. He just decided to stay off. I'm sure he's healed by now. He's like, I don't want to go back to this team.
Like you said, who are they paying that they have to shed payroll? Like there's not really anybody on this team that's raking in a ton of money at the moment. Benintendi, again, highest paid player in history. They still got him. But outside of him, who else is making huge dollars?
FBI just took down Eric Mayer Adams. They just took down Diddy. Reinsdorf needs to be next. Because something funny is happening with the money. Somebody is money laundering in the White Sox. Who are we shedding? Who is being overpaid here? Is it the concession stand folks? Who is he gonna fire? Are we firing the security at the gates?
Yeah, I need
something's up. FBI, I know y'all watching this. Y'all watch. Hold on, let me get the FBI on here because it's easy.
I need somebody to pull up a picture of Reinsdorf and Diddy together, and we can just go ahead and just send him to jail, bro. Like do something.
Facts. Let me get the FBI. Let me get the FBI on this podcast. What do I got to mention? Bomb, Al Qaeda, nuclear threat. What are the key words that trigger the
baby
FBI
oil, something.
podcast? Diddy. What else? What other words FBI listens to? The NSA listens to sneak spy on us. Bomb threat.
Whoa,
Shoot! I got it. Shoot a school. There we go. Now the FBI is listening.
All right. Chill out.
FBI, investigate Jerry Reinsdorf. I know y'all hear me. I just said all the key words. I know y'all hear me.
Yeah. Investigate Jerry Reinsdorf. Find me
Please.
some pictures of him and Diddy together.
Because this doesn't make any sense. Maybe I should have called somebody else. Hold on. How do I call Jeff Bezos to the chat? What keywords will he hear that he'll be listening? Amazon. Amazon sucks. AWS. Yeah, fuck Mackenzie Bezos. He's listening. He's listening. Hey, Bezos, buy the White Sox, please. I'm begging you because this is ridiculous. Okay, back to our regular schedule program. Sorry, but yeah, Reinsdorf needs to go. What is it going to take? Well, let me ask you this: everyone keeps saying selling the team. What is it going to take to make him sell the team? It's not losing.
I mean, that's a terrific question. It's not one that I have the answer to.
Do you think we can steal his credit card and fly a prostitute across state lines from Indiana?
We gotta frame him for something.
Because that's sex trafficking.
That's the only way. We gotta frame him for something.
Well, he's been here like 100 years. There's got to be at least 3 women he's groped. Something's got to happen. Something's got to give.
He's 88 years old. Like, I'm sure he went the Robert Kraft route at some point. And we got to get him in
some kind of massage parlor. This is getting out of hand. I don't know what'll make him sell the team because this is getting crazy.
Can we get one of them women that Deshaun Watson was dealing with to say Jerry Reinsdorf?
I don't think that'll work because they settled for peanuts.
Damn.
So they're just gonna settle, and Reinsdorf won't have to sell the team.
And Robert Kraft just got a slap on the wrist for his inappropriate behavior.
It's got to be a string of stuff. So with him being 150 years old, I'm damn near positive we can find a girl doing something. We can find a girl with something, even if he ain't touched. Hell,
Jerry
I can put on a wig
with women 30 years younger than him, looking reckless, and it didn't matter.
I'll just put on a wig and say Jerry touched me.
Hey, okay, all right,
that works.
You look.
I want to even say which Jerry, like which last name.
With that one.
I won't even say which last name because they ain't gonna know if it's Jerry Jones or Jerry Reinsdorf. Jerry touched me, but both out of here
with that one, bro.
Jerry
on wigs.
Jerry touched me. All right, we're dragging this joke along. Yeah, but it's rough right now. I got nothing good. This is a funeral episode. Well wishes to the White Sox. Current. Do you think the record actually gets broken? We got 3 games left versus Detroit. Going to Detroit.
Yes.
You don't think we'll sweep them like the Angels?
No.
Why?
Detroit, because like I said earlier, Detroit has something to play for. Unless I'm mistaken, they're still playing for a wild card position.
Shoot, we had nothing to play for, and we still swept. We do have something to play for.
We do have something to play for. They're playing for trying to not set a new record of futility and all-time embarrassment. That's what they're playing for. That's why they started playing hard the last week.
And no pitcher wants to be the pitcher that
Detroit does have something to play for. And Crochet will be pitching in this series. So it's possible that he pitches. I believe he's going to pitch the first game. So game 1 is Garrett Crochet pitching.
Okay.
But after that, I mean, who's stopping you from losing in the next 2 games? Even if Garrett Crochet goes out there and does 7 innings of 1 hit and no run ball, you still got to get through the next 2 innings. And the Sox have barely been able to close out any games all year long.
Facts.
So that's number 1. And then number 2, who's pitching the second game? Who's pitching the third game?
Flexen.
Who's gonna Flexen just pitched today.
Oh, that's right. He did pitch today. Yeah, Flexen's our second best pitcher. That is
So
tough.
again, at some point, this record is going to go down. Like they're going to lose another game. In my opinion, they're losing 2 out of 3. Like I'll give them the Crochet start as a victory.
I actually think
But
we're winning. We're going to win 2 out of 3.
okay,
But it only takes
if you
one.
lose one,
Right.
it only takes one. You lose one game, you set the record. So it doesn't matter. Whichever one they lose, they're the new record holders.
The Crochet game's probably going to have Scooball, who is a monster right now. So it'll be Scooball versus Crochet. Two top 10 pitchers facing each other. That's going to be tough. Detroit's healthy. They got Green back. They got Carpenter back. Yeah, it's going to be tough. The Crochet game's probably going to be low scoring, but the rest, oh god, I don't need. I think we took Thornton out the rotation, which I don't agree with. He's a draft pick getting his bearings in. So if we did take Thornton out the rotation and he's not pitching the series, it is going to be a rough series. I like Thornton, but do you really want to give a rookie the record to set for worst? To set that record for worst game ever, assuming we only lose one. Then the next game, the record will be set again, and then the next game, the record will be set again if we lose all 3.
Look, I don't think whoever starts, I don't think it really matters. Like, yeah, they'll be the one whose name is attached to it, but it's not their record, man.
It really isn't.
Yeah, it's really not their record. So
But
it is what it is. But I mean, Crochet versus Scooball is a straight up pitcher's duel.
oh, absolutely.
So I mean, I imagine, quite frankly, I imagine Crochet is probably only going to pitch 5 innings and then get shut down. Even if he pitches 5, like he may only pitch like 4 because they already dialed him back earlier in the season. So he hasn't been pitching.
He pitched 4 last time, but got 8 strikeouts pitching 4
He hasn't been pitching a lot. Like they dialed him back on purpose.
Which frustrates me as a better.
Look, he probably pitching only 4 innings and he gonna sit down and relax and his season's gonna be done. And then he's gonna wait to get traded in the offseason. That's what things stand with Garrett Crochet. And then it's going to be up to whoever comes in out of the pen to hold the lead, whoever comes in for the save to get the save. And then at that point, you're moving on to the next 2 games. But I think the record's going down.
Who's our number 1 if Crochet gets traded?
Probably one of these guys they got back it's probably going to be Drew Thorpe or somebody like that.
Thorpe is not number 1 right now. He might not even be
number 2.
Not.
But regardless, it's probably going to be him because, like you said, who else is it? Flexen? If Flexen's back next year?
On most teams, Flexen is a 4 or 5, and he's a number 1 on our team. Holy crap!
Oh man, yo, this might be ugly.
Yeah, this you might be right. Till we see who the manager is and what moves they make in the offseason, we might reset the record.
Look, I'm telling you, the White Sox, as much as I would love for them not to lose 100 games again next season, it's pretty much in my mind a foregone conclusion when you already announced that your plan is to shed payroll, when you don't know who the manager is going to be because you still have yet to hire one, and you still have the same failings as an organization that you've had really for decades under this ownership group. I don't see how you avoid a 3rd straight 100-loss season. And your current general manager is obviously inexperienced, learning on the job. And I mean, quite frankly, we can argue that he gets fleeced in every trade that he's made so far. So,
absolutely got fleeced.
So again, if he does in fact trade Crochet at the winter meetings, who's to say he's going to get back a quality return for that trade? I can't say he will. I mean, again, he might get completely owned in this trade. So I don't see a quick turnaround is the problem, the issue. I don't see a quick turnaround for the White Sox. You could be just as bad again next year. You might lose 130 games next season. You might lose 115 games next season. But in all likelihood, you're losing 100 games next year. I don't see a way around it. I mean, the White Sox, as currently constructed in current state, are probably one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the history of Chicago sports. Like, they're that bad. They're arguably one of the worst teams across all sports.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
So, like, I can't necessarily think of teams that are more futile than the Chicago White Sox. This version of the Chicago White Sox right now.
Is this how Cubs felt before 2016?
Had to be. Absolutely.
I'm like, whoa, this is how Cubs fans felt? This sucks. Oh, my God. And we used to make fun of them while they suck like this?
Man. Yo, I need CD to chill out.
Yeah, and this is only the half. He did all that in like a quarter. So if you face the CD today, good luck.
I need him to relax.
What you need to happen is the Cubs
to sit on the bench.
You need the Cowboys to be up so much they stop passing and just keep running. But Giants keep getting in the red zone, so they're getting at least a field goal. So you should be rooting for Giants not to score because you don't want a back and forth game. You want a blowout game like with the Bills where they was up so much, people were so pissed, like, damn, Cook can't get any receptions. Damn, you ain't passing to Shakir no more. You need a blowout. You do not need this back and forth happening right now.
All right. Let's keep it back with the White Sox.
Yeah, back to the Sox.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
I'd rather talk about the Bears right now. My favorite quarterback, because you're my quarterback, the Bears, but that's another story.
Look, it's a whole nother show on this platform to talk about the Bears.
True, but we don't want to talk about the Sox right now. All right. Biggest L this year. Mayor Eric Adams. Offset.
Man.
The White Sox.
Man.
Or Diddy. Really? I don't even know the charges yet. They ain't releasing nothing but like sex crime shit. Over the White Sox? White Sox is an all-time record. Diddy might still beat the case. But we don't know what the case is. We just know he transported prostitutes across state lines.
That's trafficking.
Correct.
He going to jail. That's the biggest L of the year. He's going to jail.
He's in jail. White Sox fans are in hell.
No, yeah, that's facts. But Sox fans not going to jail. He going to prison. He's going to prison.
Possibly.
He gonna be singing with R. Kelly in them.
I'm an innocent till proven guilty guy. You're not wrong, but I am an innocent till proven guilty guy.
He and Kel's gonna be in there working on new remixes.
Ooh, that's gonna be heat, and then add in Tory Lanez for the back percussion. Oh my God, for the background music, that's gonna be a fire song. R. Kelly, Tory Lanez.
Inmate's gonna have some of the most fire albums that they've ever heard in recent memory.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I am excited for that album to come out.
But yeah, that's the biggest L. White Sox are the second biggest L.
Okay.
Offset's the third biggest L. Matter of fact, no, Offset's the fourth biggest L.
I was gonna say he's fourth.
He's fourth. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, I think it's time to wrap up the show. What you think?
Oh, absolutely. Because now we're just ranting about random stuff because White Sox are terrible.
Can give you a path forward for the White Sox, but it starts with completely changing your ownership group, and that's not going to happen anytime soon.
At all.
Jerry, the way for the White Sox to proceed forward is for Jerry to step down as chairman today, like right now, or at the end of the season, step down as chairman, announce that you're done, announce that you're retiring, announce that whomever the White Sox passes on to and whatever the succession plan is, that they're going to take over and then whomever that person or persons is that now becomes the majority owner of the White Sox, because it isn't his son Michael. Whomever it is that takes over the White Sox as majority owner comes in and decides that they're going to spin out of this world, and they're going to say, you know what? Tired of the illusion, tired of the embarrassment. Sox fans have been through enough, and we about to go out there and spin like we're the reincarnation of George Steinbrenner with the Yankees.
Yeah, you don't buy a new team and then not spend, but then at the same time, you don't try to create a TV network and not invest in the team and bring in top free agents. So I don't
understand that part of it, but that's the way that you turn it around. Is you actually, instead of the Reinsdorf method of slashing payroll, you go with the opposite direction and you spend on all the free agents that you possibly can spend on. You commit yourself fully towards an analytical path, and you give your players an actual game plan to rely upon that they can use day in and day out. You got 162 of these things. Keep your pitch down in the zone is not a good plan every time you take the field. It's terrible. So that's how you turn it around. New ownership, spend money, overhaul your analytics department, overhaul your draft room, and rebuild everything from the ground up. But that doesn't mean that next year you're going to be a good baseball team. Doesn't even mean you're going to be a good baseball team the year after that. But that's the path that you take, to where in year 3 or 4, now you start seeing returns on that investment. Still a painful process, though.
I guess, but I get what you mean. Yeah, no, it's gonna be tough. I'm already disappointed in next year's start if nothing's changed much, and we hire some manager who's never been a manager, because that's gonna be the top candidate. Then
I wouldn't be shocked if they brought back Grady Sizemore, quite honestly.
I mean, he hasn't been bad. He's been in a tough situation, but he's also hasn't done anything that said, "Hey, you earn the extension."
Exactly, but he's someone that Jerry is familiar with, and that's Jerry's entire hiring process. Do I know you already? Do we have a pre-existing history? Do we have a personal relationship? If so, you're the man for the job. That's how he picks employees.
Is it Jerry or is it Getz?
Jerry.
I feel like that last guy, Grifol. I feel like Grifol, Pedro was Getz's guy.
No, Pedro Grifol was Rick Hahn's guy, but Rick Hahn got to hire him because he got screwed over by Jerry for Tony La Russa. So
I thought that was Getz's guy.
Jerry gave Hahn the leeway at that point to make a hire, because Tony had to step down for health reasons.
Because Getz has that Royals connection. Because Getz has that Royals connection, and Pedro Grifol came from the Royals. I was linking that to it. All right, that makes sense. Everybody, you can go back to watching your Thursday Night Football, and hope your fantasy players do great. As of this podcast, thank y'all so much for watching. I'm Harry, and your favorite co-host, JJ3, on another episode of What Did the White Sox Just Do? Podcast, where we tell you all things White Sox and not so much White Sox. All right, thanks, everybody. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for checking out this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or watching on Twitch or YouTube, do the same. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all my homies in Chicago, we say 3 things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.